and gentlemen, it's my honor to welcome the Honorable Commissioner for Women Affairs. But before she comes up, I'll read her profile very quickly. Mrs. CECILIA Bolaji Dada is a self-motivated and compassionate individual with a creative, flexible mind and willingness to learn and explore new things. Born on July 9th, Mrs. Dada has immeasurable experience in public administration and history of delivering on her mandates. In consistency with her family's established tradition of the pursuit of excellence in education, she enrolled at the Lagos State University, LASU, where she graduated in 1991 with a BSc Honors in Industrial Chemistry. Buoyed by a resolve to carve a niche for herself in corporate governance, she further obtained the Master of Science degree from the Leeds Metropolitan University, Leeds, UK in 2009. CECILIA Bolaji Dada has worked extensively in public service with over 15 years experience at both local and state government levels as an executive. A former member of the Lagos State Sports Commission, Mrs. Dada also serves as the Executive Secretary at Papa Local Government and received an award as the Best Vice Chairman in 2010 during her tenure as the Local Government Vice Chairman. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Other awards to her named include Best Supervisor for the Environment in Lagos State 2010 and contributions towards sports development in Lagos State. She's resourceful, articulate, and innovative. She was recently ordained as an assistant pastor in the Redeemed Christian Church of God. So it tells you that you can win in every area of your life. Just keep winning and keep shining your light. She's a corporate governance expert, strategic thinker, grassroots politician, and a versatile technocrat who is expected to bring her wealth of experience in political management, strategic communications, and public relations to bear in the present administration. Ladies and gentlemen, to deliver the second keynote address at the 6th 360 Women Africa Conference, please join me as I welcome the Honorable Commissioner of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Lagos State, Honorable CECILIA Bolaji Dada, with a resounding round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm highly delighted to be part of this 6th edition of the 360 Women Africa Conference, tagged The Audacity to Win. And I'm going to start with the dimensions of gender inequality, the causes of gender inequality, and the audacity to win despite the gender inequality. Out of about 1.3 billion population of Africa, women account for half or 50% of about 692.2 million. And according to the African Gender Index published by the African Development Bank, women face a lot of discriminatory practices relative to the male counterparts. I'm going to ask us a question. When you hear that a woman has just delivered a baby, what's the first question people ask? A boy or a girl? And when you say it's a girl, how do they react to you? No. Like almost telling you sorry. But when you say it's a boy, they say congratulations. So right from the day that a girl comes to this world, there is already discrimination. But I thank God that all that is changing, especially here in Lagos. Gender inequality, is a cultural thing, especially here in Nigeria. A lot of times, women find themselves in positions where they're looked down upon. They find themselves in positions where, when they do things, rather than them being applauded, all sorts of negative things come up. But we're going to look at the dimensions of gender inequality, inequality of economic opportunities. In Africa, 70% of women are excluded financially because they are not in the formal sector. The continent has a 42 billion financing gap between the men and the women. And women's participation in the economic life confined largely to trading. You see them more in the informal sector. And in employment, there is this glass ceiling where they can't move further than a certain level. And they are concentrated in semi-skilled and unskilled informal sector. Major control, power, and key roles rest with men, with women being typically in subordinate and subservient positions. As a politician, when people come to you and they think they are praying for you, and they tell you, you're a commissioner now. Don't worry, I pray for you. Very soon, you'll be deputy governor of Lagos State. And they say that to me all the time. And I keep asking myself, why must I be deputy governor? Why can't I be governor? Why can't I be president? Why must I be subservient to a man? Even women pray such prayers. Because of the cultural norms, people already believe that as a woman, you must be subservient to somebody, you must serve under a man. Why can't a woman be the president of Nigeria? After all, we have women in other African countries who are presidents. We also look at the inequality and human development. According to McKinsey's Power of Parity report, Africa's gender equality stands at 1 to 0.58. For the continent to achieve full parity could take up to 140 years, meaning that it is not even this our own lifetime. In Africa, girls are at risk of being left behind. Millions are not in school now, and 4 million may never set their foot in school. Thank God that is not the case in Lagos. I keep coming back to Lagos. Because in Lagos State right now, we have more girls in school than boys. And if you notice, when you go to all these competitions in schools, graduation ceremonies, you realize that girls are doing a lot better than the boys. Can we put our hands together for ourselves? So that means we're changing the norms. The disadvantages faced by African girls in education and training started in the early days. Like I was saying earlier on, when a girl child is born, as soon as she's born, the world is already condemning her. The world is already condemning her capability. The world is already looking down on her as if she's not good enough to have come to this world. Where the girl child is expected to take care of, when, even as a young girl, getting ready for life, and, in primary or secondary school, while the boy is being urged to hurry up to go to school, the girl child is being urged to clean up one or two things, do one or two chores before going to school. So already, even within the family, the parents are already making the girl child feel subservient to the male child. Also, we should look at the equality in law and institutions. A United Nations Economic Commission for Africa reports done in conjunction with Professor Debo Akonde, notes that women spend their whole lives under male dominance, even as wives. I remember during my press conference after our 2 years in office, and I reported a domestic violence report that about 2,600 women came to report on domestic violence, and about 89 men. The whole of Lagos State went agog. That 89 men came to report domestic violence. And all the media houses, all the journalists, all the TV, everybody wanted to interview me to ask why and how 89 men were violated. And I kept asking them, what of the 2,600 women? How come nobody cares about them? Why is everybody talking about the 89 men? If 89 men were violated, so what? If 2,600 women can be violated, what is 89 men? Everybody was interested in what their reports were. Was it that their wives were beating them? I say yes. If men can beat women, why can't women beat men? Who said it is men that must beat women? You know? And I kept telling all of them, yes, indeed, 89 men came. And those are the ones that are bold. Whether you like it or not, more than 89 men are also being violated. Just like they violate women's rights. Why must we always think it should be the women that should be at the receiving end? There are disproportionate female representations in the parliaments of most African countries, where men are more in number. It might interest you to know that in the Federal House of Reps, we do not have a female representative from Lagos State. All our representatives are male. And then in the Lagos State House of Assembly, we have only 3 women out of over 40. Only 3 women. I just came back from Rwanda about a week ago, and I was excited to know that Rwanda has the highest female parliamentarians in Africa, with about 63.4% of lawmakers. Don't worry, you will see 50% there. I made my slides before I went to Rwanda. But when I got to Rwanda, I realized that there were about 63.4 female parliamentarians. Unlike Morocco, Morocco had only 1 minister during the same period of 2009 when Rwanda had 50%. Well, I would also say thank God for the Executive Council and the Governor of Lagos State. In Lagos State Government's Executive Council, we have 11 female commissioners. I know that is not really enough, but compared to other states, I think we should put hands together for our governor. We have several female permanent secretaries, and we have several female judges. Until recently, very few countries had legislations against rape, domestic violence against women, law against child marriage, among others. What are the causes of gender inequality? One is uneven access to education. A quarter of young women between 15 to 24 will not finish primary schools. And of all the illiterate people in the world, 2/3 are women. Of all the illiterates in the world, 2/3 are women. The lack of political representation. Politics is seen as a man's exclusive reserve. I remember a few years ago when I was contesting to be the chairman of Apapa local government. There were about 17 contestants, and I was the only female contestant. And every time people asked, how many people are coming out in Apapa? They would say, 16 plus 1 woman. 16 plus 1 woman. And I kept wondering, am I not supposed to be one of them? Why must you say 16 plus 1 woman and not just 17? And every time they called them for meeting, they would tell me to sit aside. You stay here, let's talk to the men. That didn't stop me. But the day before the primaries, they called us for a meeting again and said, you know what, because you are the only female, you step aside. You will be the vice chairman. Let the 16 others go and compete for the post of the chairman. I didn't have a choice. I took the position of the vice chairman. And I became chairman to my own junior brother who dealt with me. Then I contested again. I was still the only female. I lost that election again. Then I contested for the position of House of Reps. I lost the position again. Because I was the only female woman in Apapa that was fighting to get into position. All the other women were just following the trend and didn't really care about trying to be in charge. And then at some point, they ganged up against me, and I was frustrated. And I told myself, maybe I should forget about this politics. but something kept pushing me. You will soon realize why I'm telling you this story. Our topic is audacity to win, not gender inequality. But I just went through all of that for us to know what women go through. But despite all of this, we must have the audacity to win, audacity to move on. We have a lot of African high-flying women who have gone through a lot, but they are at the top in their chosen careers. The Honorable Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget mentioned some of them earlier on. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the president of Liberia. Yes, despite all odds, she's the first woman in Africa elected as president of a country like Liberia. She won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2011 in recognition of her efforts to bring women into the peacekeeping process. We also have our own Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the first woman and the first African to lead the World Trade Organization as the Director General, the former Nigeria's Finance Minister and Foreign Affairs Minister. We have Samia Suluhu Hassan, the sixth of current President of Tanzania, the third female head of government of an East African community country. And we have several of them. We have our own Folorunsho Alakija, ranked as Forbes as the richest woman in Nigeria and Africa with an estimated net worth of $1 billion as of 2020. And as of 2015, Folorunsho Alakija is listed as the second most powerful woman in Africa after Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Now, how do we win? What are the steps we need to take to win? The first is for us to be deliberate. We must be deliberate in our actions. We must be strategic. We must do things on purpose and with careful thoughts and consideration. We must be deliberate in whatever we want to do. Don't just flow with the tide. Don't just move from one thing to the other. For example, as a politician, because I wanted to get to the peak of my career as a politician, at some point, I realized that most of the commissioners that were picked, that was the second tenure of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Jagaban. I realized when I read through the profile of all the commissioners, I saw that they were all most of them were master's degree holder. At that time, I just had the BSc. And before then, I thought my BSc was okay. But after that, I realized that I needed to go and get my master's degree. I didn't wait in Nigeria. I went abroad. So that when they start picking, they will not say, okay, we want to pick master's degree holders, but okay, this one has international masters, but your own is Nigeria. No. I looked for money. I went to Leeds to do my master's. At that time, I was looking for something. I'm sure you all laugh at me when I tell you this. At that time, I was looking for something to do with government. And I saw corporate governance. When I saw corporate governance, I said, hey, I will know how to govern corporately. And then I applied for it. By the time I got there, I realized that it was a different ball game. But I really thank God that I did that course. Never limit yourself. Yes, we want women in position, but don't let it be that when they want to pick you, they will say, she's not qualified. Never let your qualification deter your progress. Be deliberate and strategic. Take responsibilities for your actions. If you are deliberate about your actions, then take responsibility. Because before taking those actions, you must have thought it through. But you know what? You don't owe anybody an explanation for your actions, as long as you have thought it through. And don't say, I don't want to take this action because I don't want to offend this person. If I take this action, this person might be angry. If I take this action, they might look at me this way. No. Take whatever action you have thought through. Be deliberate in your actions and take responsibilities for whatever actions you have taken. Form a winning habit. A lot of us form these losing habits, and I'll tell you that kind of habit. When you sit back at home and just eat, watch TV, and just gloom, and just look down on yourself. They don't like me. My boss is wicked to me. And you're going to work already feeling bad about the day. I don't know what this boss is going to say today. I don't know what I'm going to say that will get him angry. You are going back home. You're already getting afraid. I don't know what I will say to my husband now that he will start, talking down on me. Those are losing habits. You should think like a winner. Do things that will make you happy. Do things that will liven you up. Look at yourself with pride. Form a winning habit. Eat healthy. Keep fit. Some of us are so ashamed of our shapes and sizes that you are not even confident enough to go out in public. You have to be confident in yourself. Yes, you are a woman. Be a woman of substance. Be a woman that people will want to reckon with. And then don't be afraid to fail. I have failed several times. My colleague said his success had made him to forget his failure. I haven't forgotten my failures because at every stage I was failing and I was struggling. In 1999, I contested for the Federal House of Reps. I was asked to step down. In 2001, I contested for the chairman of Apapa local government. I was asked to step down. In 2004, I contested for House of Reps, had been picked. My form had gotten to Abuja. They had screened my form. Few days before the end of the screening, they called me and said, you have to step down. That didn't stop me. Every election, I kept contesting. Because every stepping down, they always compensated me with one position or the other. And that's why when they read my profile and they say, she's been in government, I've been in government since 2001 till date. From one political position to the other, and all at the executive level. Because I refuse to give up. Even when I fail, I still struggle. I'm sure people used to make fun of me in Apapa that this woman no go gree. Yes, I no go gree. When they told me to step down in 2000 for the position of the House of Reps, they put me on the board of Lagos State Sports Council. I was the only female board member. And then after that one, I contested for chairman of Apapa local government. They told me to step down. They made me the SLG, the secretary to the local government. I still took it. And then I contested for chairman. They said, you are the only female. Go and stay. Let the men go. They gave me vice chairman. I did vice chairman the first time. I did vice chairman the second time. And then when the chairman left, the third time, they made me the executive secretary. I was executive secretary for 2 years, and then the election came. In their usual way, they picked a man again. And all of them thought it was over. I was home for like 2 years, doing nothing. But at that time, I didn't just sit at home. Even though I've been in politics for so long, I wasn't so much a businesswoman. But at that time, I began to think, what is it that people are not yet doing in Nigeria that I can do? And then I thought of these dance floors. Yes, people had LED dance floor. But my own was not LED, it was digital. And I'm the only one in this Lagos that has that digital dance floor. Although I didn't know how to market it because I wasn't so much of a businesswoman. But people were always calling to say, I saw your dance floor somewhere. Please, can you bring it? And that was what I was doing. And I made sure that for every political meeting I would attend. Unfortunately for me, one of my mentors also was always sending me, go and represent me here, go and represent me there. So they didn't forget me, even in those 2 years that I was not in any political office. And then during the last election, I got up and made sure that I was involved. And the way they were picking commissioners, they picked me. Here I am today. I never gave up, despite all the failures. Everyone has a fair turn to be as great as he pleases. Only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly. I will keep this overall benefits of gender equality to Nigeria because that really doesn't, I don't want to delve too much on gender inequality or whatever, because when we talk too much on gender inequality, we begin to look down on ourselves as women. Forget about gender inequality. Let us face them. Power for power. Influence for influence. Whatever it takes, let us give it back to them. And you know what? The good news is that whether the men like it or not, women are doing better than men these days. Don't be a woman that needs a man. Be the woman that a man wants and will never get enough of. 3 things to remember. 1, the few African Amazons who overcame these challenges are leading and shining lights in their chosen careers, businesses, trade, and entertainment. Be a shining light. My brother said so much about it. Be a shining light. Wherever position you find yourself, stand out. Look for things to do that will make you stand out in the crowd. If you're a banker, look for things that other bankers are not doing. Wherever you find yourself, do things that will make you stand out. If you go for functions, wear dresses that will make you stand out. If you're an entertainer, do things that will make you stand out. Whatever career you have chosen for yourself, don't just be a follow. Create your own style. Let people ask, who is that? Who is doing that? Be a shining light. Be bold to overcome challenges. Whatever the challenges are, be bold to overcome challenges. Be the best you can be. Don't be, okay, I've said that, don't be a woman who wants a man. Be a woman that a man cannot do without. And then be the change that you want. I'll tell you how I got into politics. I was running my father's filling station, and I had a lawyer friend who was a politician, who was always coming to mind to talk to me about politics. And all the names she was mentioning, I realized were names of people living in our boys' quarters, as gardeners, as houseboys, as washermen. They were the ones doing politics in my local government at that time. And I asked myself, all of us, all we elites, all we know how to do is criticize government. Nobody was ready to get involved. Up till now, elites, I'm sorry, I know all of you are here this morning. Elites are very good at criticizing government, but they're not ready to get involved to be the change that they desire for this country. In whatever career, in whatever situation you find yourself, be that change that you want. No one is too small to make a change. A successful woman is one who can build a firm foundation with the bricks others have thrown at her. I will repeat that. A successful woman is one who can build a firm foundation with the bricks that others have thrown at her. Don't sulk over those bricks that those men have thrown at you. Gather those bricks and build a firm foundation for yourself. Finally, the question isn't who will let me, it is who will stop me. Nobody can stop you. Be formidable. Be unstoppable. Be the best you can be. Be a force to reckon with. Become more. Achieve more. And after all of this, be the 360 woman. That 360 woman is an all-round woman. Be the best as a wife. Be the best as a mother. Be the best as the executive. Be the best in your religion. I'm always bold to announce to people that as a politician, I'm an assistant pastor in the Redeemed Christian Church of God. When my son was in the university, I got an award as the most caring parent. Being a politician didn't stop me from caring for my family. It didn't stop my religion. As a commissioner, I'm still very committed to my church. Be the best all round. If you do not see anybody celebrating you, please celebrate yourself. And I'm going to leave you with this. Bola Adeshola said something in one of my programs. He said, if you are not invited to a table, create your own table. And you be the one to invite people. Thank you very much.
Damn.